everyone, and welcome to episode 71 of United City Randomiser. So after so many games of having this amazing unbeaten run, we were always going to have a bit of a dent at some point, and that has come in the last couple of Bundesliga matches. We lost 1-0 against Eintracht Frankfurt, which we should never have lost. It was a very disappointing performance. Frankfurt at the time were in the bottom sort of 3 or 4 in the division, and we were sitting on top. Should never have happened, but we just never showed up. We got a bit complacent, it feels like, and we unfortunately lost, and it was at home as well, so very disappointing. We then picked up a very easy, comfortable 4-1 win in the Europa League group match stages against Dynamo Kiev to finish off the group, which we comfortably topped. It was a really great run as European. No, say that again. It was a really great run in the Europa League, and we'll talk about our opponents in the next round in a minute. And then we played against Stuttgart, and they're sitting mid-table. Again, it should have been a relatively straightforward sort of game to play, and we made a real hash of it, really. We just really struggled to dominate and put ourselves in the game properly. And eventually we came away with a disappointing 1-1 draw from the penalty spot from Shad, really, was the only opportunity that we had. So, yeah, a couple of really disappointing Bundesliga performances. You can see after that amazing run it was disappointing, but it was always going to happen at some point. Now it's about changing that again and getting back to the green and winning some matches. And we've got one more opportunity in the calendar year of 2024 against Hamburg before we take our mid-season winter break. And then after that, I will play through January and the transfer window, which I don't think we'll do much in because we've got a really good squad at the moment, and I don't want to unsettle it too much before we come back again in February against Bayer Leverkusen. And at that point, I'll bring you back in and we'll play an episode and show you what we've done, if anything, through January. So that's where we're heading. Today is Hamburg. They currently sit in 7th, so, you know, they're a decent side. We've got to be on our guard a little bit, but we are going to be going all out for the win after a couple of disappointing Bundesliga performances. So let's go in and have a look at the Bundesliga. You can see that we're still sitting top, only by a couple of points now. We had a bit more of a margin a couple of games ago, which was unfortunate to lose, but there we are. So, Borussia Dortmund are breathing down our necks, and then Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich follow them. So, you know, there's some tough teams, and we've still got half a season to go. So I'm quietly happy with where we are. I think we've been amazing, and I'm, you know, really pleased with how the season's panned out so far. But I'm fully aware that we've still got a very long way to go, and we've lost our momentum slightly. So, as I say, that needs to change today against Hamburg, who are sitting in 7th. In terms of Europa League, we've had the first knockout round drawn, and we've got West Ham United. First leg is away from home at West Ham, so that's going to be a tricky game. It'll be interesting to see how we cope with a team from the Premier League. That's coming up in mid-February, so we'll probably play that game on one of the episodes, I would imagine, but we'll have to see. It might be the second leg that we play on the episode. We'll have to find out. Köln is coming up very soon in terms of episodes. It'll be in and around when we come back in February. We'll probably be playing the league match, but I'll keep you up to date with this particular round of the German Cup. And so, you know, that's going to be a difficult game. They're sitting mid-table in the Bundesliga, so, you know, it's not going to be a walk in the park. So, yeah, it's time to change the run that we've had in the Bundesliga the last 2 games. Get back to winning ways. You can see that Hamburg have got a few injuries, etc., a few people out. So have we. Again, it's still our fullbacks. We've had this issue for quite a while now, that our 2 fullbacks have been out and struggling a little bit. So let's go in and have a look and see how long they've got. So Breyer is almost to the point where he's coming back to full training, and Lenhoff is fairly similar, isn't he? He's got 5 days. So, you know, within the next couple of weeks, you should see these back into fitness and working towards getting a first team place again, having been out for a very long time. Now, DeMarco and Klunter have played very well. They've, you know, held their positions very nicely, but I'd still like the other 2 back so we can rotate a little bit and not wear these 2 out. And see if we can get back to some sense of a solid back 4 that we're sort of used to playing. Everything else is doing fine in terms of fitness and health. I've been able to rotate the side enough to keep everybody happy and healthy, which is great. In terms of January coming up, you can see we've got how many have we got? We've got 3 players that have got a wanted signed by them. Barcelona for Gravenberch. He's got 100 million sell-on clause, so if they match it, there's nothing we can do. But if they don't, then I'm not going to be letting him go easily at all. The other one that we've got in our first team's side is Gundogdu. Now he's a little bit more worrying because his release clause is sitting currently at 40 million. I've been trying to renegotiate a contract with him, and so far it's been a little tricky, but I'll continue to do so. But he's wanted by Leipzig. If they put 40 million on the table, we could have a problem with that. So I am continuing to try and sort that contract out, but it's proving tricky at the moment. And the other one is Harry Wilson. Now he's a periphery player, but he's a useful player because he can play both sides on right and left in terms of that attacking midfield line. So for now, I'd like to keep him around. In the summer, we might shift him out and see who we've got coming through our youth setup, etc. But yeah, that's for another day. In terms of youth setup, they're going really, really well. They're still sitting top in their division, which is great. You can see we've got some good high potential players. Everybody's fit now, having Samoylov. I can't decide how to say it. Anyway, Samoylov, we'll go with that. He's come back from his injury, and so I'm looking for him to get some game time and continuing to improve, because next season he'll be hopefully coming into the first team squad. So that's one to still continue to look out for. The other one that's going great guns here is Galtier, who I think has got some real good basis about him. I'd quite like a little bit more determination, but other than that, at the age of 17, I think he's coming on nicely. But he might just about to be usurped in the pecking order, because this is what I've already done in terms of youth players coming into the side in 2025. You can see most of them are joining early in January, so not long now, a couple of weeks, and there's some really good young players in here, and the pick of the bunch would be somebody like this, Masoudi, who's a French youngster, 17 years old, but look at that, great determination, good passing already, vision is really high, first touch is good. I think there's a real player in here, so potentially he can come into our youth ranks and see if he can fight his way into the first team at some point. But yeah, there's some really good players coming through, so that's why I'm not doing an awful lot in the transfer market, I wouldn't have thought, in January, unless somebody leaves, because I've already done quite a bit in terms of bringing some really good youngsters through and into our youth setup. And you can see we've had to pay quite a bit for some of them, but some of them are worth it in terms of future prospects. I think we've got some really good players here. So anyway, that gives you an idea as to what we're doing. I've still got a little bit of transfer money, but not a lot, and it will only happen, I suspect, in January. Things will only happen if we have to sell. So yeah, watch this space, especially on Gundogdu, but I am trying to sort that contract out, as I say, but we'll see what happens. But today is about Hamburg and trying to arrest the slide of our form and get back to winning ways. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So in terms of team that we're going to put out, we've already seen it looking around this page a little bit, but I'll just clarify for you. It's Kabul in goal, Klunter at right back, DeMarco at left back, Denilson and Horatio in central defence. Gomez is the deep-lying playmaker. Siflidis, I've changed him to a box-to-box midfielder. I want him to get more involved. He's the one that's, his ratings are down and I don't like it. So we're trying to find a slightly different new role for him to see if he can improve. So he's on the box-to-box midfielder role. Gravenberch is the attacking Metzala, Gundogdu on the right, Abandu on the left, and Shad up top, with a sub-bench of Gimba, Saiki, Bischler, Mount, Zweiger, Meyer and Petrella. So I've just assertively suggested to them that if we play our game, we'll win. You're very capable of that. Didn't get a huge response, but enough. We're at home today, so I'm hopeful that we'll get a better performance and, as I say, arrest the slide in our form. So let's get into kick-off. As we come out still to a... I mean, we've got a very, very big stadium. It holds 85,000, and we're not quite filling it, which is unfortunate. We're getting anywhere between like 40 and 55,000, which is brilliant. but it's, I still quite like a bit more. So if we could potentially go on a title-winning run, or at least challenging for it, I hope next season it will become even fuller. And we'll get back into the Champions League, I would imagine, at this point even. So I hope that will sort of improve as we continue to go over the next couple of seasons. But yeah, I'd quite like a few more faces in the crowd. Here we go for the first opportunity at 27 minutes into the game. It's our chance, building it slowly from right to left. Cross comes in but doesn't get to a player, but we pick up a loose ball. Siflidis again down the right to Klunter, crosses it in poorly, gets another chance. Again it's blocked. Gundogdu with the opportunity to do so. Siflidis on the edge of the box. Is he going to fire a shot? No, he's not. He's going to build up play again in a very, very structured way. Oh, there you go. Gravenberch. I've been saying it over the last few episodes. He has been absolutely brilliant this season. Key goals at key moments, and he really drives this team forward, and that's amazing. So Barcelona, if you want him, listen to me, 100 million is the only way you're getting him, because that's his release clause. Anything under that, unless the board sweep him out from underneath, he ain't going nowhere. He's been brilliant, and that's another brilliant strike from him. So 1-0 up, and that's good. I mean, it's been a fairly dull first half. You can see in terms of the stats of the game that only a couple of shots for either side, and it's been fairly even, I would say, on possession, but not much highlights, has there really? And that's drawing the first half to a close. Very disappointing, really, in a game where we should be wanting to really prove that we're dominant and able to really go and beat these sort of mid-table sides. But we are 1-0 up, so we'll have to take it for now. But I'm going to try and G them up a little bit. Assertively say, let's see what we've got. That was blah, blah, blah. This is the one. This is a great opportunity to show all the pundits that they've been right to back you. And again, what is that confusion about? It's a great opportunity. You're 1-0 up. Go and prove it. I'm just going to leave it there and let them get on with it. If they've become cross and stuff with me, hopefully that will motivate them to play better and prove that they're right or something. I don't know. It was a very weird response, wasn't it? Team talks haven't been going brilliantly recently. Another reason potentially why we've had a little bit of dip in form. I might leave them to my assistant for the next couple of weeks just to sort of calm those waters a little bit. But I don't really understand that response, if I'm honest. If you've got an opinion on that, let me know. But it's still a great opportunity to prove people that we're right to be backed. So we're at 72 minutes. Again, it's been a very, very dull second half, and nothing's been happening particularly. So we're going to change a few things, and it looks like, what am I going to do? It looks like I'm going to be changing mainly the front three. Gundogdu's apprehensive. I don't like that, so we're going to take that out. And then Ubando and Shad have both played poorly. So those are the three that we're going to change. So Sveiger on for Gundogdu, Meyer on for Ubando, and Petrella on for Shad, and just see if we can get a little bit of impetus moving into the final third of the pitch when we get the ball for the last sort of 15 minutes of the game. But it looks like it's going to drift to not a lot if we're not careful here. We get a throw in on the right hand side, fairly deep in our own half, but we've moved the ball nicely, and eventually it goes out to Sveiger on the right hand side, drives at the defence. That's better. That's a lovely move, but his left footed shot is a bit poor. He's very good, but when he gets onto his left foot, it's not so good. He's more of a winger than an attacking sort of inside forward, I would suggest. But a very, very good driving run, and we like that. Opportunity for Hamburg, though, to finally get themselves on the score sheet if they play it well, and they're keeping the ball nicely. They've gone right over the top. Very, very poor defensive line who didn't track their runners at all. It was Klunter at right back, I would guess, who just didn't turn quick enough and run with the player that went past him. And we were very fortunate on that one. But, we'll take the bit of luck here and there. And is that going to run us down to the end of the match? I kind of hope so at this point. Not because, I'm not enjoying the game, but I just want us to get the 3 points. And yeah, that's what we've been able to do. It was all about the 3 points today. Disappointing performance, really. You can see that it wasn't a particularly special game. We got a 1-0 win, but it arrests the slide a little bit, gets us the points, which is all that really matters. So I will go in there and I will calmly say a good win. I think we got away with them, but I won't say that to them because they were all a bit cross with me at half time. So we'll just get the delighted and happy response from them and try and move on into January. But that, of course, will do it for 2024 and halfway through season 7. That takes us to the end of 2024. And we now go into our mid-season winter break. So you can see that we've got 28 days until the next game in the Bundesliga against Schalke. We'll be coming back for the next game in February against Leverkusen in the next episode, and that will just give me time to go through the January transfer window and see if anything happens. So wish me luck on things like Gundogdu. I don't want to lose him. As I've said before though, if Gravenberch is going to go, they're going to have to pay 100 million, or the board are going to have to swipe him out from under me, because otherwise he's not going, because he's too valuable to me. So we'll have to see what happens in January. But until next time, if you're enjoying this series, why not subscribe to the channel? It helps you keep up to the date with the videos, which is really helpful for you and me. If you enjoyed this particular episode, a bit of a squeaky 1-0 win, but it's still enjoyable enough, then why not click a like on the video itself? That helps me get seen by other people, helps me develop my channel, which is really important. Until next time though, if you're playing Football Manager yourself, let me know how your save's going on in the comments below. I'm always interested to hear. But until next time, take care of yourselves. I will see you soon, and bye for now. Thanks very much for watching this episode of the United City Randomiser save. If you enjoyed the video, then why not click on the like button, as that would really help me. If you think you know anyone who would really enjoy my Football Manager content, then feel free to share this with them. But most importantly, if you would like to join my United City here on YouTube, then hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with my video releases. If you have anything you want to say about the United City save or the channel itself, then feel free to leave a comment below, but please try and be nice with each other. That'll do for today, so until next time, stay happy and healthy, and I will see you soon.